Hey guys. So yeah, I still have my day job as a Boeing engineer, so I like to make the joke that I do rocket science by day and rocket fuel at night. But yeah, I work way too much right now. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we make our spirits. We'll basically go through vodka and then touch on a few others. So the journey starts out in eastern Washington. We make our vodka from 100% Palouse-grown malted barley. The farmers will harvest it. They'll pack it on barges by the ton and send it down the Columbia River. It makes its way to Vancouver, and there they'll malt the grain. So malting grain, what is that? Malting grain is where they spread the grain out on the floor, and they'll spray it down with water, and they'll trick the grain into germinating. And so what that process does is it softens the husk, and it kind of allows enzymes to form on the kernel. And that's really important because well, in the next process, you'll see. So before the grain sprouts, they'll stop it by kiln drying it. Then they'll bag it up and they'll send it to me. So that's where my part starts. We will mill the grain and as part of the mashing process. That milled grain will be a coarse flour that we'll add to a mash tun. And to the mash tun, we'll add hot water at the right temperature and pH. And that's basically going to activate those enzymes. It'll break down the starch into simple sugar, glucose. Because that's really important. Once we transfer to the fermenter, we'll add yeast. The yeast are going to eat that sugar and they'll make alcohol. So here's the chemical equation. You see glucose being converted into ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. And those are the molecules. So that's going to be really cool because a week later we'll have basically a strong beer without the hops, about 10% alcohol by volume. That's when we start distilling. So why does distillation work? Basically, alcohol boils before water. So whenever you heat up that solution, it boils. That means there's going to be more alcohol vapor in that vapor than water vapor. So whenever you condense that, you'll be drawing it off. From a lab still to a bigger Olympic still, you see here the same basic things going on. You're heating up the liquid. It's turning into vapor. You're condensing it and drawing off the alcohol. This is a simple pot still. This is a more sophisticated German hybrid still where it has columns. The columns are really important for making vodka. So our vodka is twice distilled, one on a simple pot still and the second on a column still, similar to this. What happens is the vapor rises through the column, it's going to purify. To be vodka, it has to come off the still at 190 proof, 95% alcohol. That's why vodka has such little flavor compared to other spirits, is because you've essentially distilled it to almost purity. Things like tequila and rum and brandy are going to have a lot more flavor. How do you make gin? Well, gin, did you know, is made from vodka? You take vodka and you fuse it with herbs and spices. To be gin, it has to be at least 50% juniper. In fact, gin is short for juniper, which means juniper in Dutch. They were the first to make it. We're also going to be making Aquavit. Aquavit is made the same way as gin, but you use different spices, predominantly caraway. Our recipe also has coriander, dill, anise, and fennel. It's a Scandinavian spirit. And then we're also going to be doing a liqueur. Liqueurs basically have sugar added after distillation. This is a famed photo of the Chartreuse Monastery in France. Our recipe is it's going to be a cardamom mint liqueur. It's based on an old Trappist recipe from the 1800s. So whenever you're bottling these liqueurs, these spirits, you have to bring them down to bottling proof. Add pure water. Our water purification system is a pre- and post-carbon filtered ion resin exchange system. Really kick-ass science. You got to come see this thing. Proofing and taxes. To be true to the consumer and pay your taxes properly, you have to be very precise on the proof. So you use precise hydrometers to measure the density of the liquid. This is our brand, Ebb and Flow. This is our bottle shot of our vodka. It's kind of unique for a vodka. It's got just a touch of the natural flavor and sweetness from the grain. Really, really yummy stuff. We're also making our gin now, Ebb and Flow gin. Really a nice, big, bold gin with plenty of juniper flavor, but it's balanced with herbal, citrus, and spicy notes. It's based on an old English recipe from London. And I guess one more thing, our mascot is the giant Pacific octopus because they call our local area home, quite a few of them. I've actually seen one myself scuba diving one time. It's really, really cool creatures. And finally, a last shot is our storefront. If you want to come down and learn more about spirits, we also have free samples. Did I mention free? And we can give you a tour as well. It'd be really nice to see you there. Thanks.